The Human Blueprint, the biology of connection and focus.
In our first chapter of The Human Blueprint, we began a descent into the most uncharted territory known to man, the inner workings of your own mind. We explored the architecture of silence, uncovering why your brain thrives in the honesty of the midnight hours, and why your memories are often more like stories than facts. We looked at the high cost of a divided attention and how the simple belief in a good night's rest can actually rewire your biology. But as we closed that first door, we touched upon a force that operates entirely beneath the surface of your conscious thought, a silent language that dictates who we move towards and who we choose to keep close. We ended on the edge of a profound mystery: the hidden science of attraction. Tonight, in part 2, we step through that door. We are diving deeper into the biology of connection and focus. We're going to explore how the chemical whispers in your brain turn strangers into soulmates, and how you can reclaim the razor-sharp focus that the modern world has tried so hard to steal from you. Get comfortable. The blueprint is expanding. Let's begin the next phase of your journey. Subtle cues work on you constantly. The symmetry of someone's face, the tone of their voice, even their scent can trigger responses rooted deep in biology and personal experience. Evolutionary psychologists suggest that some preferences may be linked to health indicators, whilst others are shaped by cultural norms and your personal history. Your subconscious also weaves in associations that feel almost magical. A certain laugh might remind you of someone kind from your past. A hairstyle might echo a beloved figure. These impressions often form before your conscious mind begins its analysis, creating that sensation of instant chemistry that feels like fate, but is actually neurology. It's a reminder that attraction is both ancient and deeply personal, a dance between instincts honed over millennia and the unique pathways carved by your own life experiences, quietly guiding your eyes and heart before you've even realized they've chosen a direction. A flow state is possibly one of the most remarkable experiences your brain can create. It's a mental space where focus becomes effortless, time feels elastic, and the outside world just fades. Hawaii. Artists, athletes, and scientists often describe losing themselves completely in their work, emerging hours later feeling energized rather than drained. Psychologists say flow occurs when the challenge of a task matches your skill level perfectly, enough difficulty to engage you fully, but not so much that you become overwhelmed. In this state, your brain actually reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region tied to self-consciousness and that critical inner voice. This frees your attention to merge completely with the task at hand. Flow isn't just productivity at its peak. It's a deeply satisfying state of immersion where action and awareness become one. Many people find flow during hobbies, creative projects, or even complex problem solving at work. In the quiet trance of flow, minutes dissolve into moments, and your mind moves as smoothly as a river finding its inevitable way to the sea. It's what you're doing right now that you never want to stop. Technology can extend human perception beyond its natural limits, effectively giving us entirely new senses we never evolved to have. Some researchers have created devices that translate non-visual data, things like magnetic fields or ultrasonic distances, into tactile signals your brain can learn to interpret. Over time, users begin to sense these signals as naturally as sight or touch, genuinely integrating them into their daily awareness. For example, a belt that vibrates when you're facing north can eventually give someone an intuitive sense of direction, much like migratory animals possess naturally. These enhancements demonstrate neuroplasticity in action, your brain's remarkable ability to adapt to entirely new streams of information and weave them into perception. Whilst these tools are still largely experimental, they point toward a future where human senses could expand to detect ultraviolet light, infrared heat, or even the chemical composition of air. Entire dimensions of experience that we can currently only imagine might one day become as ordinary as seeing or hearing. Each time you learn a new skill or concept, your brain's neural networks physically change. This process, called synaptic plasticity, strengthens existing connections and forms entirely new ones, allowing information to be stored and retrieved more efficiently. In practical terms, this means your brain is not a static organ. It's an ever-changing structure, actively shaped by your experiences. MRI studies show that learning activities, from playing an instrument to practicing a new language, can even increase the size of certain brain regions over time. These physical changes are most rapid in childhood, when your brain is extraordinarily malleable, but they continue throughout your entire life, which is genuinely remarkable. It's never too late to learn something new. Every time you do, you're literally reshaping the physical structure of your brain. The act of learning is like walking through a field repeatedly until a faint trail becomes a well-worn path. Every time you return, the path grows clearer and more defined, and the landscape of your mind expands, one connection at a time. Emotions don't just color your thoughts and feelings, they can actually alter your visual perception of the physical world around you. Studies have shown that people in a positive mood are more likely to notice subtle details and perceive a wider range of colors. Meanwhile, those feeling anxious tend to narrow their focus, scanning constantly for threats and missing neutral or positive cues that are right there in front of them. This happens because mood influences your brain's attention systems, adjusting the way sensory information is filtered and interpreted. A joyful state can make a sunset seem more vivid and breathtaking. Fear can make a dimly lit street feel darker and more oppressive than it objectively is. Perception is not a purely objective process. You see, it's shaped by the lens of your mind in each moment. Changing your mood can quite literally change your world, revealing that the line between your mind's inner state and the outer environment is far less fixed than we generally imagine. In emergencies, the presence of other people can sometimes reduce the likelihood that anyone will actually step in to help. It's a phenomenon known as the bystander effect. When you're alone and witness someone in need, you feel greater personal responsibility to act. There's no one else, so it's clearly down to you. But when you're in a crowd, responsibility gets diffused. Each person assumes someone else will help, and the result is often that nobody does. This effect has been observed in countless experiments, from staged accidents to objects deliberately dropped on busy streets. The more people present, the lower the chance that any single person will intervene. It's deeply counterintuitive and rather depressing when you think about it. However, awareness of the bystander effect can actually counteract it. People who understand this phenomenon are significantly more likely to take action regardless of the crowd. It's a reminder that in moments where help is desperately needed, looking to others can be a trap. Sometimes the person who needs to act must simply be you, even if you're the only one who's noticed. When someone is stressed, their body releases chemical compounds through sweat that carry subtle signals to those nearby. Research has found that smelling these stress odors, even completely without conscious awareness, can activate brain areas linked to empathy and fear, causing others to become more alert or anxious themselves. This suggests that stress can spread socially, not just through obvious cues like tone of voice or facial expression, but through scent itself. Whilst this effect likely evolved to help groups detect and respond to danger collectively, in modern life, it means that tension in a room can quietly ripple from one person to the next like an invisible wave. Understanding this can be genuinely empowering. Just as stress can be contagious, so can calm. By managing your own emotional state, you may influence the climate around you in ways that no one can quite explain, but everyone can definitely feel. You're not just responsible for your own mood, you're contributing to everyone else's too. Nostalgia isn't only a warm feeling in your heart. It can literally make you feel physically warmer in your body. Experiments have shown that recalling cherished memories can increase your perceived temperature and even reduce the sensation of physical cold. Psychologists believe this link may be rooted in evolutionary needs. Social warmth and physical warmth are intertwined in your brain, both tied to feelings of safety and belonging. When you revisit happy moments from the past, your body responds as if you've genuinely stepped into a more comfortable environment. In winter months, people often experience more nostalgic thoughts, perhaps unconsciously, as a way of counteracting the chill, whether triggered by a familiar song, a photograph, or the smell of a favorite meal. Nostalgia can wrap both mind and body in a gentle blanket of remembered comfort. It's a free source of warmth available to you anytime, requiring nothing but the willingness to remember. You don't have to experience a threat firsthand to feel genuine fear. Simply watching someone else react with fear can trigger your own fear response just as powerfully. This happens because your brain contains mirror systems that simulate others' emotions, allowing you to learn about dangers indirectly without having to experience them yourself. In studies, people who observed someone showing fear toward a specific object later showed similar fear responses themselves, even without any direct exposure to the actual threat. This mechanism likely evolved to help us avoid harm by learning from the experiences of others. It's incredibly efficient when you think about it. Why risk your life finding out if something is dangerous when you can just watch what happens to someone else? In daily life, it means fear can ripple through groups in seconds, influencing behavior before anyone's even spoken a word. Just as calm can be contagious, so too can alarm, making emotional awareness a genuinely powerful tool in shaping the collective mood of those around you. In the 1960s, psychologist Stanley Milgram conducted experiments that revealed something deeply uncomfortable about human nature. Ordinary people, under the direction of an authority figure, would deliver what they believed were painful electric shocks to others. The study showed how social pressure and the presence of authority can override personal morals, leading people to act in ways they might never choose independently. Whilst the experiments remain controversial, the findings have been echoed in other contexts, from military settings to workplace hierarchies. The effect is rooted in our tendency to trust perceived experts and defer responsibility when following orders. It's unsettling because it suggests that under the right circumstances, most of us are capable of actions that contradict our values. But this doesn't mean people are powerless. Awareness of this influence can strengthen resistance. It is a reminder that moral courage sometimes means stepping out of the shadow of authority and reclaiming personal choice. Even when every voice around you is saying, just do as you're told. Your eyes are most detailed in the center where you're directly looking, but they're fastest at detecting motion at the jaze in your peripheral vision. Peripheral vision is specifically attuned to movement. A survival trait from when noticing a sudden rustle could mean spotting either a predator or prey. This sensitivity is tied to rod cells in the outer retina, which are better at picking up light and motion in lower contrast conditions. In modern life, this means you might notice something moving in the corner of your eye before you consciously look at it. It's part of your brain's early warning system, constantly scanning the margins for change, ready to draw your focus exactly where it's needed most. In the quiet margins of your sight, the past lingers, an ancient watchtower, still keeping guard, still protecting you from threats that mostly no longer exist. Handwriting engages your brain differently from typing, involving fine motor skills, visual processing, and spatial awareness, all simultaneously. This richer sensory experience helps encode information more deeply, making it significantly easier to recall later. Students who take handwritten notes often remember concepts better, even if they write less overall, because summarizing in real time requires active engagement with the material rather than mindless transcription. Writing by hand also slows the pace, giving your mind more time to actually process ideas, rather than just recording them. Whilst typing is undeniably fast and efficient, handwriting can act like a form of mindful learning. Each stroke creates a physical imprint of thought, etched not just on paper but into the neural patterns of memory itself. In a digital world, there's something almost rebellious about picking up a pen. The human brain forms impressions of faces almost instantaneously, in less than 1/10 of a second. Research shows that even such incredibly brief exposure is enough for people to decide whether someone appears trustworthy, competent, or likable. These snap judgments come from ancient survival mechanisms where quickly assessing friend or foe could genuinely mean the difference between life and death. The amygdala and other brain regions process facial cues at remarkable speed, well before conscious thought has any time to intervene. Whilst first impressions can be surprisingly consistent across different observers, they aren't always accurate. Your mind often leans heavily on learned stereotypes and personal experiences to fill in the gaps. This lightning-fast assessment is a reminder that part of you still operates on instincts formed long before cities, screens, and formal introductions existed, back when a single glance could shape the entire course of survival. Simply placing an image of eyes in a space above a donation box, for example, can make people behave more generously and honestly. Psychologists believe this happens because the sensation of being watched triggers social accountability, even when the eyes are obviously just printed on paper. This effect is linked to our evolutionary past, when reputation and group belonging were absolutely essential for survival. Being seen meant your actions mattered, that there would be consequences, and your brain still responds to these subtle cues today, even though rationally you know they're meaningless. Interestingly, the eyes don't even need to be realistic. Even stylized designs can create the effect. It is a quiet example of how deep-seated social instincts continue to shape behavior in ways you rarely notice consciously, turning a simple image into an invisible reminder that someone might be watching. The spotlight effect describes your tendency to believe others are paying far more attention to you than they actually are. This can make small mistakes, tripping on a pavement, mispronouncing a word, feel monumentally more noticeable than they actually are in reality. In truth, most people are far too focused on their own thoughts and concerns to observe you closely. This bias stems from how you experience life. You're the central figure in your own story, the protagonist, so you naturally assume the same focus from others. But you're really just a background character in their stories, just as they are in yours. Understanding the spotlight effect can be genuinely freeing, reducing social anxiety and self-consciousness. When you realize that most eyes are turned firmly inward, your own small stumbles lose their weight. You can move through the world with a lighter step, no longer imagining an audience where none actually exists. It sounds impossible, but studies show that a placebo, an inactive treatment with no medical properties, can still have measurable real effects even when the recipient knows full well it's not real medicine. In these cases, simply explaining that the placebo might trigger the body's own healing mechanisms is often enough to create changes such as reduced pain or improved mood. Psychologists suggest this works through expectation and conditioning. The ritual of treatment, combined with belief in the body's capacity to heal itself, activates pathways in the brain that genuinely influence physical states. This open-label placebo effect reveals just how intertwined mind and body truly are, and how belief can shape biology even in the complete absence of deception. It's a reminder that sometimes awareness itself, understanding how your mind works, can be a form of medicine. Think back to a significant moment in your life. You might vividly remember the rush of joy, the crushing weight of grief, or the sharp sting of embarrassment. But the exact sequence of events, probably a bit fuzzy. This is because emotions are processed and stored in brain areas closely linked to memory, such as the amygdala, making them far easier to retrieve than factual details. Whilst this emotional focus can help guide future decisions, it can also blur the accuracy of your recollections. You may recall perfectly how a day felt, but lose track of the specifics of what actually happened. This is why two people can share the exact same experience, yet remember it completely differently. They're remembering different emotional truths. In the story of your life, emotion is the ink, and the details are the paper. Without the feeling, memories fade into nothing. But with strong emotion, even the vaguest outlines can remain vivid for decades. Forgetting may feel like a frustrating flaw, but it's actually an essential part of how memory works properly. Your brain is constantly taking in absolutely vast amounts of information. Letting go of less useful details helps make room for what actually matters most. Psychologists believe forgetting allows you to generalize from past experiences rather than getting hopelessly lost in specifics that no longer serve you. It also prevents outdated information from interfering with new learning, which would be a disaster. This adaptive forgetting can be thought of as pruning a tree, removing old branches so the healthy ones can grow stronger and more robust. Far from being a sign of weakness or decline, the ability to forget is one of your mind's ways of staying efficient and focused, ensuring that the memories you carry are the ones most relevant to your present and future. Sometimes, forgetting is exactly what you need. In classic experiments, people wore special glasses that inverted their vision, literally turning the entire world upside down. At first, the experience was completely disorienting and deeply unpleasant. But within just a few days, the brain adjusted. Objects felt right-side up again, even though the image entering the eyes was still completely reversed. This remarkable flexibility is neuroplasticity in action, your brain's extraordinary ability to reorganize itself in response to entirely new input. When the glasses were removed, vision felt flipped again until the brain readjusted back to normal. The finding shows that perception is not a fixed recording of objective reality, but an active construction constantly shaped by your brain's interpretation of sensory data. Even something as fundamental as up and down is, in part, a matter of adaptation. Your experience of reality is far more flexible than you probably realize. In certain situations, groups tend to make bolder, riskier choices than individuals would make alone. It's a phenomenon called group polarization. This can happen because discussion often amplifies dominant opinions, and shared enthusiasm can significantly downplay potential dangers. The effect is visible everywhere. From business meetings to political rallies to friend groups making questionable decisions on a night out. Whilst collective decision-making can draw on diverse perspectives and genuine wisdom, it can also lead to what's called risky shift, where the desire for unity and momentum completely outweighs appropriate caution. Being aware of this tendency allows groups to counterbalance it by actively encouraging dissenting voices and building in deliberate pauses before major decisions. The group mind can be an incredibly powerful tool, but like any tool, it must be used with care and awareness. Optical illusions work because your brain doesn't just passively receive sensory input, it actively interprets it, filling in gaps and making predictions based on past experience. When these predictions clash with the raw data coming through your eyes, the result can be an image that appears to shift, move, or hide details that are sitting in plain sight. Illusions reveal the mental shortcuts your brain uses to make sense of the world quickly and efficiently. These shortcuts usually serve you brilliantly well, but they remind you that what you see is not objective reality. It's a version of reality, reconstructed inside your head, influenced by past experiences, expectations, and context. Every perception is, in a very real sense, a personalized rendering, your own unique version of the world, built by your brain for your brain. Laughter isn't just a reaction to something funny. It's a kind of mental exercise that can genuinely build resilience over time. When you laugh, your brain releases endorphins and reduces levels of stress hormones, creating a physiological state that makes it genuinely easier to cope with challenges. Shared laughter strengthens social bonds, providing a network of support that becomes crucial during difficult times. Over time, these repeated moments of joy act like training sessions for your nervous system, teaching it to recover more quickly from stress and bounce back from adversity. In this way, laughter becomes more than a fleeting pleasure. It's a resource stored within your body and mind, ready to be called upon when life demands courage and resilience, a kind of invisible strength that builds quietly in moments of joy. Research shows that people who feel a strong sense of purpose, a clear, meaningful reason to get up each morning, often live longer, healthier lives. Purpose provides motivation, which encourages healthier habits, reduces chronic stress, and strengthens social connections. It also seems to benefit the body directly, with studies linking a sense of purpose to lower levels of inflammatory markers and better cardiovascular health. This doesn't mean your purpose has to be grand or world-changing. It can be as personal and quiet as caring for loved ones, pursuing a creative passion, or contributing meaningfully to a small community. Having something genuinely meaningful to work toward acts like a compass for your mind, guiding choices and sustaining resilience through difficulty. In times of hardship, purpose serves as a steady light on the horizon, a reason to keep moving forward, one deliberate step at a time. Deep within your temporal lobe lies something called the fusiform face area, a specialized region devoted almost entirely to recognizing faces. This network is so finely tuned that it can identify familiar faces in less than a second, even in a massive crowd. Damage to this area can result in prosopagnosia or face blindness, a condition where individuals can see facial features perfectly well but struggle to actually recognize even close friends or family members. The importance of this system is rooted deep in evolutionary history. Reading faces has been vital for detecting emotions, recognizing allies, and building the social bonds that kept our ancestors alive. Remarkably, this network doesn't just process human faces, it can adapt to recognize other familiar patterns, like the distinctive markings of beloved pets or the shape of a treasured object. It's a testament to your brain's deep investment in connection. Meditation is more than just a mental exercise or relaxation technique. Long-term practice can physically change the actual structure of your brain. MRI studies have found increased thickness in the prefrontal cortex, an area linked to decision-making and self-control, as well as changes in the hippocampus, which plays a crucial role in memory and learning. Regular meditation can also reduce the size of the amygdala, your brain's center for fear and stress responses. These structural changes reflect neuroplasticity at work, your brain's ability to rewire itself in response to consistent practice and experience. Even relatively short daily sessions can begin to alter neural patterns, enhancing attention, emotional regulation, and overall well-being. In a world that often feels rushed, noisy, and overwhelming, meditation offers a way to reshape your mind from the inside out, building inner stillness into the very fabric of your brain. During near-death experiences, deep meditation, or even through targeted brain stimulation, people report feeling as if they've left their bodies entirely, observing themselves from above or at a distance. Neuroscientists have linked these experiences to disruptions in your brain's integration of sensory information, particularly in the temporoparietal junction. Whilst often fleeting, these moments can feel extraordinarily vivid and profoundly real, leaving lasting impressions on those who experience them. Out-of-body perceptions can shift a person's entire sense of identity and deepen existential curiosity in ways that lasts a lifetime. Whether you interpret them as spiritual events or purely neurological phenomena, they highlight your brain's remarkable role in creating the sense of self. A sense that can, under the right conditions, untether completely and drift beyond the physical boundaries of your body. Priming occurs when exposure to certain words, images, or ideas subtly influences your later behavior without any conscious awareness. For example, reading words related to politeness can make people interrupt less often in conversations. Seeing references to aging might actually slow someone's walking speed, all without them having any idea they've been influenced. This happens because your brain uses recently activated concepts as shortcuts, shaping perception and response beneath conscious awareness. Whilst the effects of priming are often short-lived, they reveal how remarkably sensitive you are to environmental cues. In everyday life, priming can be genuinely positive, inspiring productivity, kindness, or creativity. But it also shows how easily your mind can be nudged without you realizing it's happening. Every setting you enter quietly sets the stage for how you think and act. Acts of kindness don't just make others feel good, they can genuinely benefit your own health as well. Helping others has been linked to lower blood pressure, reduced stress hormones, and improved immune function. Psychologists suggest this may be due to the release of oxytocin, which promotes feelings of warmth and trust, whilst also supporting cardiovascular health. Even small gestures, holding a door, offering a genuine smile, can create these beneficial effects. Over time, kindness can become a reinforcing cycle. Doing good increases well-being, which in turn makes you more likely to continue helping. In this way, kindness is not just social glue that holds communities together. It's also a quiet form of self-care, woven seamlessly into the exchanges that connect us to one another. The way you physically hold your body can genuinely shape the way you feel emotionally. Standing or sitting upright can increase feelings of confidence and alertness, while slouching may reinforce fatigue or low mood. This link works through feedback loops between body and brain. Your posture influences hormone levels, breathing patterns, and even neural activity. In one study, participants who adopted power poses reported greater feelings of control and confidence, though the exact effects remain somewhat debated. Beyond confidence, posture can also affect energy levels by opening or restricting the chest and diaphragm. Small adjustments, sitting a bit taller, relaxing your shoulders, lifting your head slightly, can subtly shift your mind toward greater clarity and presence. Your body, in many ways, sets the stage for the story your mind tells itself. Whilst trauma can cause deep and lasting pain, some people emerge from traumatic experiences with greater resilience, empathy, or a renewed sense of purpose. It's a phenomenon known as post-traumatic growth. This doesn't mean that the trauma was beneficial or that suffering is somehow good, but rather that recovery can sometimes foster strengths that might not have developed otherwise. Psychologists have identified specific areas of growth, such as stronger relationships, increased appreciation for life, and deeper connection to personal values. The process often involves meaning-making, finding ways to integrate the difficult experience into a larger narrative of life. Whilst not everyone experiences post-traumatic growth, those who do often describe it as a transformation forged in difficulty, like a tree that grows stronger and more resilient after surviving a violent storm. Stress can be genuinely contagious, passing silently from one person to another without a single word being exchanged. Simply observing someone's tense body language, facial expressions, or hearing subtle changes in their voice can trigger a mirrored stress response in the observer's brain. This social transmission of stress is thought to be rooted in empathy, our nervous systems naturally tuning to the states of those around us. Whilst this can help groups respond collectively to threats, it also means that one person's anxiety can ripple outward, affecting the mood of an entire room. The reverse is also true. Calmness can spread in exactly the same way, softening tension and encouraging steadiness. In this sense, managing your own stress is not only, it's a quiet, powerful gift to those around you. When you're alone and see someone in need, you tend to act quickly and decisively. There's no one else to defer responsibility to, so it's clearly down to you. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your night. May you find deep peace and restful sleep. Wishing you the sweetest dreams. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.